So
I can jump in.
I'll just introduce her quickly because we want to take as much time to learn from her as possible. But Miss Annamaria is calling from Italy. And as we are, she's also stuck in her house, right? I hope you're safe and healthy, though. So we're going to ask some questions about, Italy, the culture, the food, the pizza. I want to talk about gelato a little bit, but learn a couple basic phrases. And I guess to get us started, my initial question is, if I say ciao, am I saying hello to you in a friendly manner? Or
yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes, but it's really, we are usually not that formal in Italy. So whenever you meet someone out on the street, unless you're like, I don't know, a teenager and you're talking to an adult, you don't want to say ciao because it's too formal unless you're familiar with that person. So you want to say buongiorno, which is good morning, or buonasera, which is good evening. If you say ciao, it's like you're talking to someone you're friendly with, and someone that you're used to seeing and talking to in general. But it's really common. It's not rude, but it's not formal. That's it.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right, do you want to get the pictures going? Yeah, sure. And let's see. So let's start. Yesterday, Rome celebrated its birthday. Do Italians do anything on that day? Is it a national celebration? Sure, it was a little different this year than previous years, but tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, it's not a bank holiday, so we don't celebrate it because, of course, it's just something that is recognized in Rome. What we celebrate as a bank holiday in Rome is the Patron Saints, which is June 29th, which is St. Peter and St. Paul. These are the two patron saints in Rome. This is more a historical day for Rome because it's the day that, according to history, the city was founded and the city was born, which was 2,773 years ago, something like that. So it's a pretty old city. It's a really, to me, it's the most beautiful city in the world, of course, not only because I was born and raised in Rome, but also because it's really controversial. So it's like really old. Personally, I'm about to be 34 in June, and I don't think I've seen everything there is to see in Rome. So there's many things to be seen, and it's really beautiful. But at the same time, because it's really old, it's not an easy to live in and to move around. If you are a citizen, if you're a tourist, it's gorgeous, in all meanings. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so my family lives in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and this year we're celebrating the 400th anniversary.
Wow.
And that's an old,
Not even close to Rome.
We're very historic in the United States. So 400 years, the Mayflower came over. So puts it in perspective that you're celebrating 2000 birthday. It is a beautiful city. And I love when you're just walking down, there's old structures next to new structures, and it is just so beautiful. Okay, let's see. Can you talk to us a little bit about school? So we're interested in learning. So LOL for Kids, Paul and I created this company because we wanted to provide foreign language to kids at a young age. In the United States, it's typically not brought into the curriculum until 7th, 8th grade, which makes you about 14. And, with my daughters, they're sponges right now. So our company provides the opportunity to learn at a very young age. And so I'm interested when you started to learn English, and if it's just in your curriculum throughout, and also if you speak other languages.
Okay. So I'm totally with you when you say that kids are sponges, because that's pretty much how I learned English. Because my mom, she grew up in the United States. She moved to Montreal when she was 9 years old, and then with her whole family, she moved to Philadelphia and lived there for 6 years. So when she came back to Rome, she was around 16. And basically, she's always been working and she's been a translator at the Ministry of Justice for over 40 years. And basically, ever since I was born, she's been speaking to me in English. So that's pretty much how I learned English. And of course, I also wanted to, always improve it. So I was always, listening to music and trying to watch TV in, original language, like, sitcoms, TV series, movies. So I always, practice it in order to also keep the language, with the evolution, because of course it's every day, you have new ways of saying and stuff like that. So that's how I learned English. And actually my first time in an English speaking country was in Las Vegas for the EPARA conference. So that was, so that was 2013. 7 years ago. And that's I mean, I really love it. I love I feel pretty lucky because I had this opportunity, especially in a country like Italy, where the English level is not that good, because the teachers, they are not prepared enough to teach English. They should be speaking English during the whole lesson. Instead they don't. And everything you want to watch in the original language is like pay TV, so you have to pay extra to watch it in your original language. But I'm totally with you about children being sponges. I have a niece. She's 1.5 years old. She was born when I was in Melbourne for the conference, and my mom and I were talking to her in English as well. And she says some words like bye or I love you and stuff like that. And she understands. The most important thing is that she understands. So whenever she's eating something and I ask her, is it good? She goes like, yeah, and she does like this. So yeah. And in general, personally, I always loved being able to understand and speak foreign languages. I'm kind of fluent in Spanish as well, even if I never studied it. But I don't know how I'm able to, have a phone conversation with someone I never talked to, and in Spanish, and it happens to me for work also. And if I travel abroad, if I'm in Spain, I manage to speak to people around the city. I studied French too for 8 years, so not that fluent in French because it's really a complicated language. But I mean, I can read it perfectly, I can translate it, and I can, talk a little bit of it.
Wow, okay. Well, I'm going to stop talking. Anyone have any questions? Adults, feel free to jump in too. I know I have some.
Hi. I don't know, we're not seeing ourselves in the thing anymore. Let me see. There we are. So I think Molly has a question, actually.
What's your favorite god or goddess from mythology?
What was the question? I didn't hear that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get that.
What's your favorite mythology person?
Oh, okay. Honestly, I don't know how to say it in English, but something that I always loved about mythology, because it's a place that I always walk by whenever I'm downtown in Rome, is Vesta. I don't know if that's how you call it. Basically, it's the goddess who had to keep the eternal fire alive.
Yeah, Vesta or Hestia. Yeah, just the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it because again, when I think of it, I think of the location in Rome, It's a really small temple next to I don't know, again, the English translation for this. It's that mouth where you put the hand in, and if you're not telling the truth, it's supposed to cut your hand off. It's also from the old movie with Catherine Hepburn and Gregory Peck. That's yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
There's some pictures of Rome. Anyone else have any more questions? I know you do.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, why don't we go to a different, so Annamaria is from Rome, but there's also some amazing, I know Molly and Sarah, you talked about Pompeii. It is one of my favorite places. I love history. And it's, you know, once you walk in the touristy part at the front, right? Pompeii was amazing.
Yeah.
Have you been there or?
Yes, I've been there. It's a pretty it's pretty common to have school trips there, because they usually take you to Pompeii and to the Acropolis, which is like an hour south of Pompeii, in a place called Paestum. It's where there are remains from temples, from Greek temples. There's a lot to see in that area, and Pompeii is amazing. It's really great. I mean, when you find yourself in front of the volcano, it's like takes your breath away. So to me, it's always something.
It does. Does anyone know the story of what is Pompeii? Molly, do you know? And I'm not sure the other, Kira?
Hi.
Hi. Do you guys, Pompeii was a city that was ruined when a volcano exploded many years ago. Right. So the ruins are still there, and it's an amazing historic landmark. So
You could have chimed in.
It's really cool because there's like all of the paintings on the walls and everything were preserved, and you just kind of wander through and see kind of what people's houses were like. They have all these, ovens and hearths where they used to bake bread. It's really cool.
Yes, it is.
So we've never been to Italy. We've never
Sorry?
been to Italy. We went to England over this past November, and we went to Bath and saw the Roman baths,
Nice.
Oh, okay.
which was pretty cool.
Hmm.
We've never
Very
been
cool.
to Italy.
Yeah. And then we can go up the coastline a little. Florence, another gorgeous city. Anyone have any questions while we just scroll through some of these pictures?
That's Dave's.
This one, do you know any history behind this building, Annamaria, that you could share with us?
I'm sorry, I couldn't get that.
Do you know, can you tell us why this building leans? Any history behind this building?
Of course, it was built straight. It just leaned over. Honestly, I don't know the reason. I was there when I was very young. I was like maybe 7 years old. It's really impressive if you walk in this. There's a huge park, and there's this building, this leaning tower, and two more historical buildings. It's really gorgeous because it kind of makes you feel like you're not standing straight in the right position, because it's huge, it's really big. Yes, I think it's the second mostly building in the whole world, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. I know, this is, we have one more city. I've never been to Venice. It's definitely on my list.
It's
But-
gorgeous.
Yeah. All water, right? Waterways. Yeah.
Yeah, it has several problems because of that, because there's quite often there's flooding, but it's really beautiful. If you go there in summer, winter, autumn, it's really always beautiful. And the people are really nice. They're really loud, really folkloristic. the food, of course, is nice.
Well, that is a great segue because this is what we want to talk about, I think. Right?
It's gelato.
You have some of the most amazing food, pizza, pasta, desserts, gelato. Oh my goodness. Does anyone have any questions about food? Anything about their pizza or anything you wanted to ask?
No?
They're
I wanna-
quiet.
The thing I think is really cool about like Italian food is that it's actually lots of different kinds of food in different parts of Italy. So you can travel to different parts of the country, and some places you're getting, pizza, or you're getting like lots of like tomatoes and basils and things like that. And then as you go further north, it's getting more like, Central European. And then in Sicily is completely different too. So that's what I thought was cool about Italy, was traveling within the country and seeing, just like we have sort of regional cuisine here in the US, seeing that in Italy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say something because this is something that, comes up whenever I'm surrounded by US people. This small pieces of bread with tomato on top. The correct way to call it is bruschetta. While I know in the US you call it bruschetta because of the CH that you pronounce sh. Instead it's bruschetta. So this is really important for us, okay?
Good to know.
Yeah. And the double C is actually the sh sound, like cappuccino.
Yes, but that is because after the double C, there's no H. So it's chino. If you put an H after the C, then it's K. It's not ch.
Right.
This is phonetics.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you.
What is the stuff on the top right?
This.
The gelato.
Yes, gelato, ice cream. Yeah.
It's like ice cream.
What is your favorite type of gelato?
I like pistachio, which I believe it's the green one at the bottom of the picture. I like creams in general, so chocolate, vanilla. I like the fat ones, not the fruity ones. I always think you have to do something, you do it right, you do it the hard way.
I like the hazelnut, the nocciola.
Nocciola, yes.
Yeah.
What's a typical dinner that you would have? Like everyone just pictures pizza or pasta. Is that what you typically eat for dinner, or what do you usually eat for dinner per se?
Well, pizza is really common here, especially because in Rome, especially, I think Rome is the only maybe place in Italy where we used to have some pizza places. They don't only make the whole round pizza. We call it pizza al taglio, which is like pizza, not by the slice, but similar. It's like instead of making a round pizza, we make a big dish, a square one, and you cut it in square pieces, as big as you want. So if you need to grab a bite like real quick, you find these pizza places all over town, and a couple of euros, a couple of dollars, you have you can have lunch with really good pizza, and you can try several different tastes because it doesn't have to be a whole pizza with the same flavor. So you can try it with, I don't know, prosciutto, ham, or with vegetables, or salami, and you can try all kinds of stuff, and really cheap, it's good, and it's really quick. So that's something that personally, I have pizza like once a week, usually at weekends. And during this quarantine, all pizza places, pizzeria, that's called, and restaurants, they are providing delivery services for free. So it's Friday through Sunday. So either one of these days I have pizza, I have it delivered to my place. In general, what we have is pasta for sure. Once it's either lunch or dinner. Personally, I love pasta. Like I would eat pasta for breakfast as well. So I cannot go, 2 days in a row without eating pasta. That's probably the thing that I miss the most when I'm abroad. Because pizza, I think you can always find it abroad, but pasta cooked in the real Italian way, it's only when you're home. And then we have vegetables, meat or fish. So we don't always eat the same thing. It's Mediterranean cuisine. It's really it varies from day to day. We try to eat as different as we can.
Yeah. Hi, Ian. How are you?
Muted.
How are you, Ian? Thanks for joining. Do you have any questions? You are on mute, though. No? Okay.
So during the quarantine, all the restaurants, pizzerias, restaurantes, they're allowed to deliver?
Yes, they are delivering, and of course with all the security measures. So, for example, I try to always use apps that allow me to pay online with my credit cards, so as to avoid giving money and taking change or any kind of contact, because it's really in Italy it's been really hard with this pandemic. Where I live, fortunately, I think in this small town we're probably around 20,000 people, and we only had 5 cases.
Oh, wow.
3 of them perfectly got through it, so they're back home. They're not in isolation anymore, but still, I mean, you know how things are, so nowhere is safe now. So all precautions are always strongly suggested. So yes, where I live, there are 4 restaurants providing door delivery services, and also to allow these people to cope with the situation. Me and my family, we try to order in at least once a week, just to have things going, because it's really important for small business companies,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, talking about business, Annamaria works with pets as well. Just like last week, Miss Melissa, we talked to from Peru. And so she works with pets. Are you still doing that? And then one question that comes up all the time are there unique animals that you deal with in your area?
Yes, of course. I've been doing pets for 10 years now. Well, we had some really unique animals because we used to work with the zoo in Rome and with other zoos also in Europe. And sometimes from Europe, they have to drive animals to Rome because we have some direct flights from, more remote locations here. I shipped a leopard. And actually went to the zoo. So they gave the sedative to the leopard and they pretty much lifted up in front of me. So I also touched it.
Wow.
Yes, and because of course he was sleeping. And they put it in his big box, and I drove it to the airport. And just like it happens in Rome all the time, I was stuck in traffic for 3 hours. So the sedative went off, and he woke up in my van while I was driving, and he wasn't really happy about it. But that's it. He made it to the airport on the plane and all the way to Tel Aviv in Israel. That's where he was headed. He was beautiful, beautiful.
Wow, and you made it too, so that's good.
Yeah, and I'm alive.
Terrifying.
Yeah, it was really funny actually, because I wasn't in traffic, and people, we have a van with all stickers of animals, on the van. So people are always, curious to understand what we are transporting in that very specific moment. So they were asking me, and I said a leopard, and they were like, ha ha ha, funny. They wouldn't believe me. So that was really funny. And then I shipped a mandrillo. One of those, it's a monkey with the red butt. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like it doesn't have hair, on the bottom. So it's really strange and funny. I shipped lemurs to Australia, which you may know from the cartoon Madagascar. Like King Julia, the one who used to say, I like to move it.
We know that.
She knows it.
Of course.
Hey, Ian, you have any questions? Molly, Kira, anyone have any questions? Jump on in.
I just wanted to say that my favorite animal is a monkey.
Oh, it is.
Wow.
The one with the red bottom?
Maybe now.
I just like
All monkey.
So
Google it.
how do you
Google
say
it. You will love
monkey in Italian?
Scimmia.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Scimmia.
Shimyao?
Scimmia.
Yeah.
It's SSCIAMMA.
Shimya.
Scimmia.
Interesting.
So these are just some of the greetings we had up here. Let's see. Can anyone say, hello, how are you to Miss Annamaria?
Hello.
Ciao.
Nice.
And why don't we go around and we'll say hello and then say my name is, and you can find that right here, right? Maybe Ms. Annamaria can start and we can follow her and try to pronounce like she does, use her pronunciation.
Ok. Ciao, mi chiamo Annamaria.
I'm glad you went first. I wouldn't have said that. Ciao, mi chiamo Kim. Mi chiamo Riley.
Mi chiamo Riley.
Ciao, mi chiamo Paul. Anybody else want to give it a try?
Ciao, mi chiamo Sara.
Bravissima.
Mi ciao Molly.
Brava Molly.
Gracie, you want to do it?
Do what?
Say ciao, mi chiamo Grace.
Ciao,
Mi chiamo Grace. Good
It
job.
had my name. It had my
You said no.
name in
You
it.
can do it. Ciao.
Ciao, mi chiamo Leah.
Go ahead, Nora.
Brava.
Ciao, mi chiamo Nora.
Good job.
Nice job, everybody.
Bravi.
Mama, do it.
Arrivederci.
Yeah.
Mi chiamo Grace.
So these are a couple phrases we just threw up here. Is there a phrase or something that someone wants to learn how to say in Italian?
Is there anything wrong with how to say in Italian?
Pizza.
That's an easy one.
Pizza's pizza.
I have a more quarantine question. Are they starting to lift the stay indoors over there, or no? You're stuck in for now.
We're stuck in until May the 3rd. So after the 4th of May, we should be allowed to get out of the house more frequently, but still with the social distancing and still wearing masks. So even
We're not gonna finish this. A lot of people.
even restaurants and shops, they're not allowed to let too many people in at the same time. Tables must be at a distance, so they're gonna have less people sitting down at restaurants and pubs. So basically no crowds, stuff like that. And we have to see how long this goes.
That is going to be tough in Rome, right? There's crowds everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's not just about, being out, but even when I see someone, I want to hug them, to me, it's all about physical contact. I mean, in Rome, especially in Rome and Southern Italy, we are like it. I mean, we don't just say, hey, ciao, come stai, what's up? We want to hug people, it's all about touching and, kissing on the cheek. So that's going to be the hardest part for us, I think, to getting used not to, being physically close to people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any questions?
No.
I wish, so we were supposed to have Mr. Francesco on as well, and he sings some opera. So I'm a little sad he couldn't join us today. He had an emergency work meeting. Both Francesco and Annamaria work for Bliss Relocation. They're the high executives there. It's a very large relocation company in Italy. So they move everything. If you're moving countries or moving to a different home, they move everything from your couch to your pet. And that's so Annamaria and I work together. We work with pets a lot, and they do a lot of work. So if you're ever moving, and if these pictures, if you want to move to Italy, give them a call. They can help you out. A nice little commercial. Well, there. It was very nice to talk to you, and I hope if there's any other questions, we're not rushing.
If anyone has questions, very welcome.
Absolutely.
Do a lot of people speak English? Like if we were to go there as visitors, would it be hard for us to get our point across or order in restaurants or things like that?
Great question.
Well, ordering food at restaurants is probably the easiest part because if you are in Rome downtown, all the menus are also translated in English. So that's probably the easiest thing to do for tourists. You will not starve. There's no way you're gonna starve. That's never gonna happen.
We all went to England in November, and we were like, okay, it was like overwhelming. We did 3 different cities, like public transportation, like Airbnbs. We were like, at least they speak the same, like we all speak the same language. So we're like, okay, next we'll branch out and do a country that doesn't speak our language. But we did kids, and my parents went with us, so we had a great time. We would love to do more traveling like that, but
we made a trip to Italy years back now, and we didn't speak any Italian, and we were able to get around in different cities and had no problems with that. So.
Oh, good.
Yes, I mean, probably not everyone speaks English, that's for sure. But we know, how to make ourselves understand from any people, any person coming from any part of the world. I mean, we do a lot of hand talking, so we are able to guide you through anywhere you want to go. So.
What I found also is that if you're having trouble, Italians are very warm and friendly. They're willing to help you, whereas some other countries look down if you don't speak their language. But Italians are always very welcoming and friendly, I think.
Yes, that's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, we always try to, be friendly and help out. We are willing to walk you somewhere if you can find a way. If we are not able to tell you give you the proper directions, we will walk you there or drive you there. This is really it's really a thing.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most historic pieces. Does anyone know what this building is called?
Colosseum.
Yeah. What did they used to do inside this building?
Do you remember? Remember?
The garden.
Lots of things, but I'm just looking for.
Do you know that, Molly?
Go ahead.
And gladiator.
Sometimes, yeah.
Was that you?
Yeah, you're right.
Appropriate topic.
Gladiator.
I think of
Gladiators,
gladiators.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fights in between gladiators, right? Yeah, absolutely. It's always super crowded there. So whenever you want to get in there, there's a huge line. You have to make reservations, and maybe 8 a.m. is the best time to get in there. So you have to wake up at 5 probably.
Jeez.
I would wake up at 5.
But it's really beautiful. Walking inside, it's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. I mean, and the whole area surrounding the Colosseum, which we call Colosseo in Italian. It's really lovely.
Oh, I have a question.
What else? Let's see. This is a.
I actually have a question. So one of the things that I remember from my trip to Italy when I was in high school is that there's some sort of like a foot race where there's like different neighborhoods or areas of the city that compete against each other. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like there are different colors, like and like uniforms. There's like a competition of some sort.
I think that's is it possible that it's in Siena in Tuscany?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, it's called Il Palio di Siena because Siena, it's beautiful. It's really Tuscany is one of the places that I love the most in Italy in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's divided in like I don't know how to call them, not suburbs, not neighborhoods. It's like maybe cantons, something like that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
They all have a flag.
Yes,
colors. Yeah. It's like football teams, you know. They have like jerseys and flags and their own song, and they compete against each other and on a horse. It's a horse race actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Exciting.
And it's held in Piazza del Campo, which is a beautiful square. It's steep. It's like this. It's a square. And they run around with the horse in this square for a certain amount of laps until there's a winner. So it's really heartfelt for weeks and weeks before that, and even after that.
What other sports are big over there?
Well, of course, we have football. Soccer. I don't know how do you call it, because when you say football to Americans, it's like, the one with the hands. We have the one with the actual foot. That's the main. That's the biggest sport. Then basketball and volleyball are also really, really big. Rugby is growing bigger. Tennis. And then we also have calcetto, which is football with 5 players on a smaller pitch. And I play that sport in a league. I've been playing that for 11 years now. It's either outdoor or indoor. So there's a goalie and 4 players. And it's really fun because compared to the 11 players football, you never rest. You're always running because you're always going from one point to the other. It's not like you are in the defense, so you stay behind, or you are a striker, so you stay in front of the opposite goalkeeper. It's not like that. You always have to run around and try to get the ball from your mates. So it's really getting bigger now, both for girls and for boys.
Awesome. All right. I think we are going. So what time is it over there? You going to bed soon, or are you going to eat dinner? What time is it?
Oh, well, it's really early. I never go to bed early. It's 5:45 p.m. So it's really, really early. I usually have dinner around 8:30. And I'm usually in bed past midnight for sure. Never been.
Wow.
Okay, so it's dinner time over there.
Yeah, it's really you know, like afternoon. I usually practice a little bit, especially during this quarantine. When I cannot, you know, go for a run, I have to stay indoors, so I do some exercises. I recently injured my leg, actually, my left leg. In February, I kind of broke my leg. I broke my it's a minor fracture, but I had to wear a brace and walk with crutches for 1 month. So it's been tough because we started the quarantine while I was still, you know, walking with crutches. So it wasn't easy. I had to have everything delivered to my place because I couldn't walk or drive. So I have to, you know, get the muscles back to my leg, and I have to do some exercises, you know, lift some weights and stuff like that. So I'm working hard for that.
Sorry about that. Oh,
That's fine.
you'll just have to sit on the couch and watch TV. What do you watch over there? What's your favorite TV show?
Well, personally, I'm in love with the, you know, like vintage TV series, like Friends is one of my, I could watch like 24 hours a day.
Hello, friend.
Yeah, I think I know every single word they say. I mean, I could just mute it and, you know, talk. I mean, my friends, whenever they walk in and, you know, wait for me to, I don't know, get ready and go out, they already know that it's going to be Friends on TV. So that's what I'm watching.
That's why we're friends, Annamaria. I could too.
Yeah.
My friend.
Besides that, I have Netflix. So I've been watching a lot of series recently. All kinds of series. I watched Stranger Things and You. I mean, all kinds of series. I try to watch things that I can actually listen to in English. That's why I love Friends and, I don't know, The Big Bang Theory and stuff like that, because, you know, that's like the everyday language, and I really want to know what the people actually talk like in everyday language in the US.
We don't talk like Sheldon.
No, I hope so. But he's adorable.
Looks red or purple.
All right, well, I'm going to pull this back up so we can all formally say goodbye to you in Italian. Does anyone want to start and say goodbye? Or jump in with another question if you have them, but...
So last year we had to do a thing on a country you're related to, and I did Italy.
Oh, good choice. Brava.
And I said goodbye at the end of my thing.
Ooh.
And how did you say it?
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Nice.
Brava, Molly.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
There you go.
Ah, good girl. Or you can just say ciao. Ciao is like the best way to say hello or goodbye, whatever. You just say ciao, and that's cool.
Okay.
Great. Anybody else? No?
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. It is really, to me, to connect with someone in a different country far away and to hear that you're watching Friends and eating pizza just makes the world seem a little more connected to me. And this is really cool opportunity. So thank you very much. And
thank you, Kim. Thank you for thinking of us. I'm sure Francesco is really sorry not to be here. He would have, you know, given a big contribute with all these, you know, shows and scenes. I'm sorry he couldn't make it. But it's really, I mean, it's really important for me as well to, you know, being able to connect with so many people from a whole different country. It's been a pleasure. And whenever you wanna, you know, drop an arrivederci or a ciao, I'm here, okay?
Will do. Okay, let's all do it together, guys. Arrivederci, Annamaria.
Arrivederci.
Ciao.
Arrivederci. Ciao.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Ciao. Thank you. Grazie. Ciao.
Okay. We will post online what country we're visiting soon, and thank you all for joining.